Welcome to the Lubbock Symphony's latest edition of ClefNotes. My name is Galen Wixson. I'm president and CEO of the Lubbock Symphony. It's my pleasure today to welcome my guest, Mr. Brad Green. You're going to wonder why Brad is here. Tell me just a little bit about yourself for those folks in Lubbock who don't know who you are.
Well, Galen, I am a musician who figured out at a very young age that he was probably not going to make a career out of it. So I am a CPA financial planner as my day gig.
Right.
And for 50 years I've done that. But
You were smart to get that realization early, my friend.
It just, I was going to be a rock and roll star. I just knew that was going to happen. But I got over it.
Right. So why would a guy like you with a rock and roll kind of pedigree, and we'll talk about that in a minute, why would you be on a show with a classical dude like me?
Well, because you and I actually have the most common element, which is a love of music. That's the most important thing, and really most people love music. Sometimes they don't even consciously know it.
Yeah.
But it's in music grabs your soul and your spirit. So then pick your genre as the one that maybe is the most motivational. But you and I love music, so that's the first thing that puts us there. And then, the various iterations just go from there.
Well, I always see you at concerts of all sorts. It's just, you're a great supporter of the arts, and I better words were never said. A love of music drives us all in this business. So thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. So coming up on Saturday, March 8th, we have a concert at Buddy Holly Hall. The concert itself, the main feature starts at 7:30, but at 6 o'clock, you're involved in something very different for the Lubbock Symphony. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going to happen that night?
So, just bring up that I am on the board of the Lubbock Symphony.
That's right.
I've been on and off this board for decades, literally. So it's again, the symphony is one of the music loves for my soul.
Yep.
So. Symphony boards have been looking for lots of reasons and ways to continue to expand the audiences that come to hear a symphony and to try to, so to speak, educate the world that symphonic music, again, is a genre, but yet it is the same as all other kinds of music. It's music, and it moves the soul and it moves the spirit. So symphonies are trying to find a way to bring in more people for different reasons who might not ever have thought about, I'm going to go down and hear the Tchaikovsky Piano Concerto Symphony this weekend. But instead, there's something else that is the hook, if you would, that goes, that'd be fun. And so they go, and then they get exposed, hopefully, to the symphony, and suddenly there's maybe an eye-opening experience. And so there's a possible new audience member for the symphony. So
So it's at 6 o'clock. Brad Green and his band, the Cap Rockers. I'm not trying to indicate that you're the leader of the band. I think you said you were the youngest member of the band.
Well, I am
the newest.
The least, I have the least tenure.
Yes. So the Cap Rockers, a legendary cover band in Lubbock, and everybody loves them that sees them. They're going to appear in Grand Hall A, which is in the lobby area at Buddy Holly Hall. And we will have seating and tables come in at 6 p.m. If you have a ticket to the concert, you can see the Cap Rockers. Concessions will be open to buy a drink, get a bit of food, and relax before the main concert at 7:30. Any ideas what you guys will be playing?
Yeah, so I like to say, it's the old 2-for-1 kind of ticket price.
Exactly.
And so the Cap Rockers are, I would call, a 60s to 80s classic rock band. It's funny how as the years go by, there's all kinds of versions of classic rock. My brain has a hard time saying that rock from the 90s is classic, but that's another argument. So my version of classic rock, 60s to the 80s of classic rock, that's the music we play. So the Cap Rockers will be playing songs by like Steppenwolf is an old one. We'll play a song by the Eagles. We'll do something by Stevie Ray Vaughan. So it will cover a lot of artists that everybody knows, And we are the proverbial cover band. I think you mentioned that.
That's
So
right.
it's music that everybody knows.
Everybody knows there's not a tune they won't recognize.
That's exactly right.
Right.
And some of them, it may be, wow, I hadn't heard that one in forever. And so it could be a flashback.
And what's your
people.
instrument, Brad?
So I am a keyboardist, and what I play in the Cap Rockers is I have a double-decker Hammond B3 organ, and I've hauled that around for 50 years.
Yeah.
And it's the instrument that all of the rock and roll bands of the 60s and 70s played. So Santana, the Allman Brothers, John Lord from Deep Purple, they all played that instrument.
And it has a box connected to it.
It has a thing called a Leslie is the amplifier, and it has, this is, okay guys, wrap your brains around old tube and really driven motors technology. Some people call it a washing machine. It has rotating rotors that rotate in opposite directions on the top and the bottom to create a tremolo effect to the music. And I can control the speed, make it slow up and speed up back and forth all while I'm playing. And it makes a really unique sound.
It's the sort of epitome of the 60s rock sound. Go take a listen to Steppenwolf, Magic Carpet Rag, and you're going to hear this thing very
yeah,
prominently.
Yeah.
It's brilliant, but I'm guessing it weighs more than a Yamaha.
Yeah,
keyboard.
so it's usually, depending on where the stage set up, it's anywhere from 2 to 4 people to get it up on stage.
Wow.
So
to get it up on stage.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Well, you're a trooper for bringing the instruments for us to hear on March the 8th. Like I said, at Buddy Holly Hall. Now, coincidentally, since you're a keyboardist, our guest artist is one of the world's great pianists. His name is John Camara Parker, affectionately known as Jackie. Jackie will be playing the Tchaikovsky Piano Concerto, as you mentioned. Had you ever studied this work as a pianist when you were growing up?
I did not, I went over, some people would say I did my classical studies till I was about 12, and then I went over to the dark side. And so I gave up on the true studies of the classics.
I got to stop you there. How did your mom feel about that?
Well, they were both just desperate that I keep playing.
Yeah, okay.
And so my dad basically said, all right, what is it you want to do? And I told him, I wanted to learn this rock and roll stuff that's out there. And he said, well, okay, how can you do that? I don't know. And there weren't any teachers.
Right.
This is going to be the 60s.
Yes.
So he said, all right, if I buy you an instrument, a little combo organ back then, Yamaha combo organ, then you'll have to teach yourself. And I said, okay, I'll do it.
Nice.
And so from that point on, I taught myself how to then play all of the popular music.
Fantastic.
So
fantastic. I tried to switch from cello to the electric guitar when I was young, and I really wasn't allowed to do that. So you were fortunate to have parents that kind of were open to that, that change, that switch over from a classical instrument to something more, I don't know, hip.
yeah,
for our
and
time.
I can't thank my dad enough for being willing to just, instead of having a major battle about, you have to keep doing what you were doing, is just saying, okay, I'm going to help you if just continue to enjoy this and make it a part of your life. Because my dad was a music educator. He played in the Tech Marching Band, and then his undergrad is in music education, and then all his other degrees were in education administration. So he taught piano lessons. He was a choir director.
Wow.
So there was always music. And then I sang in the a cappella choirs. So it's just, he was desperate that, okay, you're good enough. You ought to keep doing this.
That is awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that story with me. So joining Jackie Parker, who, again, is one of the world's great pianists, and this concerto, if you don't know the Tchaikovsky Piano Concerto, you only have to listen to like the first 5 chords and understand, I know this music. When did you first hear the Tchaikovsky Piano Concerto?
Oh, it's going to be, again, way back in the day, probably.
But you weren't exposed to Bugs Bunny's cartoon version?
Well, it's way impossible I was. And, I went to the symphony when they were doing music education concerts for the Lubbock Symphony all the way back in Lubbock, Texas, when I was in elementary and junior high school. So I went to the symphony even then on those education concerts, which we continue today.
We continue to do.
And so could have got exposed there. And then I've been a symphony patron probably for at least 40 years. So I just love all the great music and this particular piece. So
Well, this piece, again, is just probably the most popular piano concerto in the repertoire, and so we're really excited. You will not see David Cho on stage. You'll probably see him out in the audience, but we do have a guest conductor from Austin, Peter Bay, with the Austin Symphony. I believe he's either the most tenured or second most tenured conductor in the country right now. He's been there 30-something years, and has been there a long time, has so much experience, and is just the sweetest guy. So we are looking forward to Jackie and Peter, the Lubbock Symphony of all our musicians, and hearing some great music. Once again, join us at 6 p.m. to hear Brad Green, the Cap Rockers. 7:30, the concert will start with the Lubbock Symphony, all for one ticket price. To get tickets, go to our website, lubbocksymphony.org, or give us a call, 806-762-1688. Once again, I'm Galen Wixson, President and CEO. Thanks for joining us on this edition of ClefNotes. Brad, thank you for joining us today.
thank you, Galen. It was great to be here.
Great to have you.